Michigan real estate disciplinary actions. Question 1. During a transaction-file review in Traverse City, a team member encounters a rule involving fraud, deceit, or dishonesty in licensed practice. Which response follows Michigan law, while the file concerns a new construction home, a buyer representation agreement, and a protected class inquiry? Option A. Grounds for occupational discipline. Option B. An automatic contract amendment. Option C. A required form of negotiation. Option D. A protected marketing strategy. The correct answer is option A. Grounds for occupational discipline. Dishonest conduct undermines the competence and trust expected of a licensee. For exam purposes, focus on the regulated relationship rather than an informal business custom. Negotiation does not authorize intentional deception. Question 2. A branch manager is preparing for a closing preparation in Muskegon. Which statement correctly addresses gross negligence or demonstrated incompetence, while the file concerns a mixed-use building, a commission disbursement form, and a disputed repair credit? Option A. A protected advertising style. Option B. Conduct that can support disciplinary penalties. Option C. An exemption from supervision. Option D. A substitute for continuing education. The correct answer is option B. Conduct that can support disciplinary penalties. Serious carelessness and inability to perform regulated work can trigger professional sanctions. The transaction context changes the facts, but it does not change the underlying licensing duty. Education and advertising rules do not convert incompetence into lawful practice. Question 3. Which Michigan requirement should control when a licensee deals with false advertising by a licensee during a team training, while the file concerns a cooperative unit, a draft purchase agreement, and an electronic signature? Option A. A method of deed delivery. Option B. A title-insurance requirement. Option C. A disciplinary violation. Option D. A permitted team slogan in every case. The correct answer is option C. A disciplinary violation. Real estate marketing must be truthful and comply with brokerage-identification rules. A written office procedure should produce the same result in comparable transactions. Deed and title procedures are unrelated to advertising honesty. Stressed about your real estate? We can take real estate for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 4. At a compliance interview, the brokerage discusses helping another person perform regulated brokerage work without a license. Which conclusion is most accurate, while the file concerns a farm parcel, a branch-office inspection report, and a referral arrangement? Option A. A lawful delegation to any friend. Option B. A zoning enforcement function. Option C. A required referral method. Option D. Aiding unlicensed practice. The correct answer is option D. Aiding unlicensed practice. A licensee may not enable an unlicensed person to perform activities reserved for licensed practitioners. In the described setting, the brokerage should document the step and apply it before moving forward. Calling the activity a referral does not change its substance. Question 5. A compliance question in Battle Creek concerns practicing while a license is suspended, revoked, or lapsed. Which action or statement is appropriate, while the file concerns a lakefront cottage, a buyer representation agreement, and a team social media post? Option A. Only advertising is prohibited. Option B. The license remains active for pending deals. Option C. The employer may privately reactivate it. Option D. The person is treated as unlicensed. The correct answer is option D. The person is treated as unlicensed. Authority to practice depends on a current license in good standing. Applied to this scenario, the licensee should follow the rule before creating further obligations for a party. Only the department can restore lawful status through the applicable process. Question 6. How should a Michigan employing broker handle a situation involving failure to comply with a final board or department order, while the file concerns a townhouse, a commission disbursement form, and a record inspection request? Option A. A fair housing exemption. Option B. An automatic license renewal. Option C. A separate basis for discipline. Option D. A private contract defense. The correct answer is option C. A separate basis for discipline. Final regulatory orders are enforceable obligations of the licensee. For exam purposes, focus on the regulated relationship rather than an informal business custom. Private transaction terms cannot override the order. Question 7. Which choice best applies the state rule concerning keeping a client's confidential negotiating information private to a listing presentation, while the file concerns a urban infill property, a draft purchase agreement, and a branch-office distance issue? Option A. A reason to hide known hazards. Option B. A duty owed only to competitors. Option C. An optional courtesy after closing. Option D. A fiduciary responsibility subject to legal disclosure exceptions. The correct answer is option D. A fiduciary responsibility subject to legal disclosure exceptions. Agency loyalty includes protecting confidential information obtained through representation. The transaction context changes the facts, but it does not change the underlying licensing duty. It cannot be used to conceal material facts that must be communicated. Question 8. A file from Kalamazoo raises an issue about presenting offers and material transaction information promptly. Which answer identifies the governing requirement, while the file concerns a subdivision lot, a branch-office inspection report, and a financing contingency? Option A. Part of competent and loyal client service. Option B. Optional when commission is small. Option C. A prohibited communication. Option D. A task reserved for the assessor. The correct answer is option A. Part of competent and loyal client service. Clients need timely information to make informed decisions about offers and risks. A written office procedure should produce the same result in comparable transactions. The size of compensation does not reduce professional responsibility. Are you looking for real estate actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access real estate study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get real estate answer key today. Question 9. Before completing an offer review, which rule should the property manager apply to the minimum age for an initial salesperson applicant, while the file concerns a rural acreage, a buyer representation agreement, and an unrepresented consumer? Option A. At least 19 years old. Option B. At least 16 years old. Option C. At least 18 years old. Option D. At least 21 years old. The correct answer is option C. At least 18 years old. Michigan requires an initial salesperson applicant to have reached legal adulthood. In the described setting, the brokerage should document the step and apply it before moving forward. Higher age thresholds are not part of the current salesperson checklist. Question 10. A Michigan exam candidate reviews a scenario involving the approved education needed before examination eligibility. Which option reflects the current licensing framework, while the file concerns a single-family residence, a commission disbursement form, and a confidential price limit? Option A. A complete 60 hours of continuing education. Option B. A complete 24 hours of approved education. Option C. A complete 90 hours of broker education. Option D. A complete 40 hours of approved pre-licensure education. The correct answer is option D. Complete 40 hours of approved pre-licensure education. The salesperson pathway begins with 40 approved instructional hours. Applied to this scenario, the licensee should follow the rule before creating further obligations for a party. Broker coursework and renewal education serve different licensing purposes. Question 11. The broker's policy manual addresses the civil-rights component within salesperson pre-licensure education. Which provision should it contain, while the file concerns a small apartment building, a draft purchase agreement, and a change of employing broker? Option A. Include 8 hours of appraisal only. Option B. Include at least 4 hours on civil rights law and equal opportunity in housing. Option C. Include 1 optional ethics seminar. Option D. Include a federal tax workshop. The correct answer is option B. Include at least 4 hours on civil rights law and equal opportunity in housing. A defined portion of the qualifying course addresses housing equality and civil-rights law. For exam purposes, focus on the regulated relationship rather than an informal business custom. An unrelated elective does not satisfy this subject-specific mandate. Question 12. A regulator asks about the examination provider used for the Michigan salesperson test during a brokerage review. Which response demonstrates compliance, while the file concerns a office condominium, a branch-office inspection report, and an owner-licensee conflict? Option A. Pass a county assessor examination. Option B. Pass an examination administered by the employing broker. Option C. Pass the salesperson examination administered by SI. Option D. Pass only a school final examination. The correct answer is option C. Pass the salesperson examination administered by SI. Michigan uses an independent testing vendor for the salesperson licensing examination. The transaction context changes the facts, but it does not change the underlying licensing duty. An employing broker may sponsor the applicant but does not administer the state examination. Question 13. Which statement would be safest for a licensee to follow when the step that produces the candidate identification needed to schedule the test becomes relevant, while the file concerns a condominium unit, a buyer representation agreement, and an expired license issue? Option A. Schedule with SI before applying. Option B. Wait until a license is issued. Option C. Ask a broker to create the candidate number. Option D. Submit the online salesperson application and education proof first. The correct answer is option D. Submit the online salesperson application and education proof first. Exam eligibility is connected to the online application record and verified course completion. A written office procedure should produce the same result in comparable transactions. The identifier is not created by a school or a prospective employer. Question 14. A dispute arises during a property management meeting over the employment relationship required before an active salesperson license is issued. Which principal resolves the issue, while the file concerns a retail suite, a commission disbursement form, and a property minus management payment? Option A. Obtain sponsorship from a licensed individual broker or broker company. Option B. Use a title company as the statutory employer. Option C. Work independently without a broker. Option D. Register with a local board only. The correct answer is option A. Obtain sponsorship from a licensed individual broker or broker company. A Michigan salesperson practices through a licensed employing broker. In the described setting, the brokerage should document the step and apply it before moving forward. Independent brokerage activity requires a different level of licensure. Question 15. In Flint, an associate broker must decide how to proceed with the number of brokers to which a salesperson may be licensed at one time. Which decision is consistent with Michigan requirements, while the file concerns a manufactured home site, a draft purchase agreement, and a delayed possession term? Option A. One employing broker. Option B. No broker after passing the examination. Option C. Two brokers if both consent. Option D. Any number of affiliated brokers. The correct answer is option A. One employing broker. The salesperson license is tied to a single employing brokerage at a time. Applied to this scenario, the licensee should follow the rule before creating further obligations for a party. Consent between firms does not create an exception to the one-employer structure. Question 16. Which exam answer accurately classifies the rule involving whether a person may simultaneously hold salesperson and broker licenses, while the file concerns a 2-unit rental, a branch-office inspection report, and a cooperating brokerage? Option A. Both licenses may remain active indefinitely. Option B. Both are allowed if issued in different counties. Option C. The restriction applies only to associate brokers. Option D. The person may not hold both license types at the same time. The correct answer is option D. The person may not hold both license types at the same time. Michigan separates the salesperson credential from broker-level licensure. For exam purposes, focus on the regulated relationship rather than an informal business custom. County location does not alter the statewide licensing classification. Question 17. A new policy is being drafted for the usual validity period of initial salesperson pre-licensure education. Which language belongs in the policy, while the file concerns a historic residence, a buyer representation agreement, and a rejected counteroffer? Option A. 5 years from examination. Option B. 30-6 months from course completion. Option C. 1 year from application. Option D. 6 months from enrollment. The correct answer is option B. 30-6 months from course completion. Initial salesperson coursework remains usable for a 3-year period after completion. The transaction context changes the facts, but it does not change the underlying licensing duty. The examination and application have their own shorter validity periods. Question 18. During team training, the supervising broker tests knowledge of the usual validity period of a passing salesperson exam result. Which answer should the team select, while the file concerns a student rental, a commission disbursement form, and an assumed business name? Option A. 1 year from the passing date. Option B. 3 years from testing. Option C. 90 days from testing. Option D. No expiration after passing. The correct answer is option A. 1 year from the passing date. A passing licensing score is time minus limited even though it has been reported to the application. A written office procedure should produce the same result in comparable transactions. Course validity and license minus cycle length do not extend the score period. Stressed about your real estate? We can take real estate for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass in payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 19. A consumer asks the brokerage to explain the usual validity period of a paid salesperson application. Which explanation reflects Michigan law, while the file concerns a vacant commercial parcel, a draft purchase agreement, and a security minus deposit question? Option A. 2 years from course completion. Option B. 1 year from the payment date. Option C. Until the applicant chooses to reactivate it. Option D. 30 days from submission. The correct answer is option B. 1 year from the payment date. The online application remains open for a defined 12-month period. In the described setting, the brokerage should document the step and apply it before moving forward. A valid course certificate does not keep an expired application open. Question 20. Which compliance step is required when the transaction facts involve the requirement for a non-Michigan resident applying for a salesperson license, while the file concerns an industrial site, a branch-office inspection report, and a dual-representation concern? Option A. Submit a consent to service of process. Option B. Open a branch office. Option C. Establish a Michigan homestead. Option D. Appoint a county assessor. The correct answer is option A. Submit a consent to service of process. A non-resident applicant must provide a mechanism for legal process connected to Michigan regulation. Applied to this scenario, the licensee should follow the rule before creating further obligations for a party. Residency in the state is not itself a condition for salesperson eligibility. Question 21. A team member notices a potential problem involving the allowed address arrangement for a salesperson or associate broker. Which response should occur first? While the file concerns a new construction home, a buyer representation agreement, and a protected class inquiry. Option A. Every licensee must use a storefront. Option B. A post-office box may be used. Option C. An out- state address automatically voids the license. Option D. Only a broker company may use a post-office box. The correct answer is option B. A post-office box may be used. Individual salespersons and associate brokers have more flexible address options than brokerage offices. For exam purposes, focus on the regulated relationship rather than an informal business custom. The mailing choice does not remove non-resident service process requirements. Question 22. The state portion of the exam presents facts about the process used when a salesperson changes employing brokers. Which result is supported, while the file concerns a mixed-use building, a commission disbursement form, and a disputed repair credit? Option A. Keep both employers until renewal. Option B. File a new pre-licensure course application. Option C. Submit a ME+ modification request for a license transfer. Option D. Transfer the license through the county register of deeds. The correct answer is option C. Submit a ME+ modification request for a license transfer. Employment changes are recorded through the state licensing system. The transaction context changes the facts, but it does not change the underlying licensing duty. A deed-recording office has no role in transferring an occupational license. Question 23. Which brokerage practice properly addresses the status that may follow removal by an employer before expiration in the Kalamazoo transaction, while the file concerns a cooperative unit, a draft purchase agreement, and an electronic signature? Option A. Automatic broker status. Option B. Inactive county registration. Option C. Permanent revocation. Option D. No employer status. The correct answer is option D. No employer status. Michigan does not offer a formal license minus escrow classification for salespersons. A written office procedure should produce the same result in comparable transactions. That status does not authorize independent real estate practice. Question 24. A licensee is comparing 4 procedures related to the standard salesperson license renewal cycle. Which procedure is lawful, while the file concerns a farm parcel, a branch-office inspection report, and a referral arrangement? Option A. 2 years. Option B. 1 year. Option C. 3 years. Option D. 5 years. The correct answer is option C. 3 years. Michigan salesperson credentials operate on a 3-year renewal cycle. In the described setting, the brokerage should document the step and apply it before moving forward. The cycle length does not eliminate annual subject requirements within continuing education. Question 25. At the end of an open house, the parties question the total continuing education expected within a full 3-year cycle. Which statement provides the best guidance, while the file concerns a lakefront cottage, a buyer representation agreement, and a team social media post? Option A. At least 6 clock hours. Option B. At least 18 clock hours. Option C. At least 12 clock hours. Option D. At least 40 clock hours. The correct answer is option B. At least 18 clock hours. A full renewal cycle requires 18 hours of eligible professional education. Applied to this scenario, the licensee should follow the rule before creating further obligations for a party. Pre-licensure coursework cannot simply be relabeled as renewal credit.